Hello, everyone. Welcome to Stories to Heal. It's our first episode, and we are hoping to tell stories that will inspire and, of course, stories that will help heal, right? So, we have our first guest today. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Clydia. I'm 25 years old this year, and I am doing nursing for a living. Uh, Yeah, so
Okay. Uh, how long are you into this nursing course?
uh no, so I actually finished my studies like 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I had some issues with my licensing, so I am only like starting my new job. At, at the point where we are recording now, I'm
Mm-hmm.
actually starting my new job soon.
Okay.
So yeah, it's actually going to be my second nursing job.
Okay. Can you tell us where it is, or is it something that you want to keep private?
I think I'm gonna keep it private. I think
Okay.
in
Okay.
case I don't make it.
Okay, no, I'm sure you will though. You seem like a nice person, so good things are going to happen for you.
Hopefully,
Fingers crossed.
if it becomes.
Um, could you tell us how your childhood was like? Just so we get like a rough idea how everything began.
I think maybe some background first. So um, I have bilateral hearing loss. Profound on my left side, and then a moderate to severe on my right side. So I was actually born hearing, and I only lost my hearing around the age of 3 or 4. So for me, it was a sudden loss. Like one day I can hear, one the next I couldn't. My mom saw it as a gradual loss, so I actually got officially diagnosed um at age 4.
Okay.
Yeah. So um because I also have like asthma, the eczema, and I've got like a whole lot of medical issues. So like my childhood was very much in and out of the hospital because I was quite sick because of my asthma. Um, and I was fitted with hearing aids when I was young. So because my left is profound, which means that there is no benefits to wearing a hearing aid because it wouldn't help. I wouldn't hear anyway. And so I was only fitted with a right hearing aid from young. And I went through very, very intense speech therapy. Yeah, because I think my mom was like, I lost my hearing after I started learning how to talk. So she wanted me to retain this speech. So we went through very, very intense speech therapy. And that was like probably a very traumatic experience for me when I processed it when I was growing up. And um but because of the speech therapy I was able to like converse with you lah, you know what I mean, today.
Yeah.
So it's one of my main speech communication now. I don't really sign because I wasn't given the opportunity to learn when I was younger. My
Mm-hmm.
mom didn't want me to sign because there was a misconception then if you learn how to sign, then you wouldn't learn how to speak. Yeah. So these two things couldn't coexist at the time. So I was mainstream. Then when I was struggling really, really, really bad, I moved to support school. And then from there, support school, secondary school, then back to mainstream poly university.
Okay. Okay.
So that's like the rough outline. But I think during my childhood, frankly speaking, I don't really have a lot of memories.
Okay. Is there a reason?
Um, I'm not sure, but I don't really have a lot of like good memories of my childhood. Yeah. So I think I only remember like those really, really hard times. Like I wanted to kill myself when I was in primary school because I was having such a hard time. I couldn't make any friends. So because I couldn't make any friends, in school because I can't hear, right? So I was the only one um, in the entire school who has hearing loss. And last time, like the hearing aid is super bulky. It's super ugly. And there is like I used to have this FM system as well. It's kind of like a transmitter where I could hear the teacher, but the teacher wouldn't want to wear it. So
Mm.
there was no access for me anywhere.
The-
And
I'm sorry, but the teacher didn't want to wear this
yeah,
device.
they wouldn't wear it.
Why?
I think there were many reasons. I think there wasn't any like a proper training because I was the only kid with hearing loss, right? They don't see the purpose why they should wear it because I could hear them fine. But they don't get that I can hear you, but I am not hearing you clearly. So there's a difference between hearing and clarity. So um, the male teachers see it as a hindrance. The female teachers don't like to wear because it doesn't fit their outfit.
Mm.
Yeah. So um, this was like my early school years. Um, I struggled a lot. Um, I didn't have any friends, so I resorted to using money to buy friends. So it resulted in me, like stealing, getting, buying friends with all, those science fair. They usually have all the science things.
Yeah.
And usually who owns it would have friends because it's like, wow, you're rich. So I would steal money to get these kind of things to get friends. Then it didn't really last long up. I really like had my first suicidal thought like in primary school, but I never really acted on it because like I didn't have the guts to. Also because my house is like 2-story lah. Because semi-detached, right? If I jump off from second story, a bit sad lah.
Yeah.
Because there is I mean even if I jump off from second story, I wouldn't die because there is a roof. So it doesn't make sense. So if
Mm.
my bedroom was right at the parking area, so if I were to jump down, I will roll off the roof and I'll land in the drain.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's like what's the point? So um yeah, so um I was struggling a lot. Then I hated speech therapy because it was really bad because I couldn't hear. And um the main thing they do with speech therapy is they use your remaining hearing and they like they'll cover their mouth and then they'll be like, can you hear
Mm.
me? Like what can you say the words that I'm saying? Then they would say, but because I cannot hear, it's very hard.
Yeah.
So I have problems like, pronouncing certain words. And because of that, people don't really when people like talk to me, it will be like it wasn't very clear. And because my right side was so unstable, if I were to continue nursing after my degree, I may not be able to do it because my right side is so unstable. I lost all confidence in communicating already.
Mhm.
So I actually um decided to do a cochlear implant surgery, which is like a hearing device but it's implanted in your ear.
Mm. Okay.
And because of that, I my Meniere's disease, my recovery took a bit longer. But once we actually got it sorted out, my recovery was pretty fast. And now my left side is the strongest here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everything was a very big question mark because my whole life nothing has been like for certain, there is no certainty at all. So I feel everything was I can only deal with it when it comes. I can't really plan ahead.
Mhm.
Because like when people ask me what's my 5 year plan, I can't tell you because I have no idea whether I'm able to hear you then. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I think I really learned to uh, deal with things as it comes. But unfortunately, that's not where it stopped. All
Yeah.
the hard thing that continue afterwards also. So I barely made out of anywhere alive.
Mhm.
I managed to pass. I got my minor. But I still couldn't get my license.
Yeah.
So after I actually went for my cochlear implant surgery and I did my rehab for a year, I had a hard time trying to get a hospital that would take me in. So I actually got a hospital that was willing to take me in before I actually got everything sorted out, all the documentations, all the paperwork done before I actually went for my surgery, so that I can be guaranteed a place when I come back. Then COVID started,
Mm,
the pandemic came, so
yeah.
they couldn't take me in because there wasn't any manpower that could supervise me for the entire year.
Mm-hmm.
And it was such a moment because you know there is nursing shortage everywhere, but you're not able to give that service to people because they can't take you in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So because of that, I had to find new hospitals that could take me in. And after like rejections, I got into one hospital that were really nice. They took me in, but because I really didn't want to enter the workforce when COVID was at its highest because I was still fresh out of rehab.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure if I could hear you because not only I have to wear personal protection like outfit,
Mm.
the
Yeah.
mask and everything will make things really hard
Yeah. The
because
PPE, right?
yeah, the PPE, and then it makes things really hard for me to hear because I can't lip read anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, but if I stay out too long, I may not be able to get my license anymore. So I actually went ahead to apply to this hospital, and I got accepted. I started work after like they actually managed to help me get my SMP going. Um, it took a lot more months, but I managed to start working that for a while. But I left because my mental health became really bad. I think that was the peak period where my mental health just took a plunge because I think all the stress, the doubts, um, the uncertainty, how hard everything was over the past few years just accumulated and it just came in like one big ball and I crashed. Yeah.
Mm.
So um I had I knew I needed to seek help. So I had to leave. I I don't think I'll consider that as like a suicide attempt. Um but I think from that moment that was a very big moment that when I felt everything was useless. Whatever I do was useless. So I drank like a bottle of like vodka and I downed it because like usually I only drink like small cans like the 3.5% of alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
I mean I do drink occasionally, but I don't really um drink liquor that much in just a short time. So I actually down it and
Mm-hmm.
then I down it and I got really like woozy.
Mm-hmm.
I just needed something to go down the bed and I didn't want to wake up. So I took my antihistamines. I took Marathon, 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
And any healthcare profession would know that you shouldn't take Marathon with alcohol because it dampens your mental capacity. So
Mm.
I took that and I went back to sleep. But what happened was unknowingly I actually woke up and I was having a full blown meltdown. And my mom, my sister, my dad couldn't stop me.
Mhm.
And it got to the point where ambulance was called, police was called, and they were literally about to put me in cuffs because I couldn't be transported to hospital because I was so aggressive. But I had no memories, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't know I was being so, I was like thrashing around, I was hitting everybody. They tried to put like mattress to protect me, but I was like escaping. Then it was a full blown mess. Um, they had to call my partner
Mhm.
because my sister, at that point, my partner and I was also very new. Um, my mom didn't receive well the fact that when I came out. So it was also like a very sensitive issue. But that situation was really, really bad. So at that point, I was actually still co-war with my mother. But because of this incident, the co-war stopped.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so they got my partner, and my partner was able to calm me down before they put me to the hospital.
To IMH or
No, to A&E.
okay.
Um, they couldn't send me to IMH because there was a change in I think patients who are being transferred.
Mm.
Yeah. So they took me to TTSH instead. And my partner insists that it wasn't a suicide attempt because she knew if I was diagnosed then and I was trying to attempt suicide, it will give me a black mark when
Yeah.
I'm trying to apply for hospital already.
Yeah.
Because I already got so much issue with SMB. If I were to have this whole depression and whole suicide thing, it's going to make the matter really, really bad. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
So um I was only there for like a few hours. Then after blood work and everything, they let me back. But I think that was a very bad period because I felt so guilty.
Mm.
I felt so guilty for like hurting my mom, people because I was like, so actively hitting. I didn't know that she was holding me. So because she was holding me, trying to stop me from hurting myself, she got bruises all over. Yeah, because she's like so pure, right? And so she got bruises like her hands, her chest, everywhere because I was like hitting with my head and whatsoever. So um I felt really, really guilty. Um and I didn't know how to like face my family members after that whole incident. Um and I was really trying to like cope, and because I was only able to get like a psychiatrist appointment much later. So when I actually went for psychiatrist appointment, I got official diagnosis of depression, and they started me on antidepressant.
Mm.
That's when everything went downhill.
Oh,
Yeah,
I definitely know the feeling. But are you still on antidepressants? Same.
yeah. So I did really, really bad with SSRI.
Mhm.
Immediately when I took it, my suicidal thoughts just immediately went full blast.
Oh yeah, same here, same here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's always like a black box warning that if you take any psychiatric medication, it will increase your risk of suicidal thoughts, but it will come down once you assimilate into flow
Hmm.
of the medications. But for me, it was so bad. It
Yeah.
was so bad. I couldn't leave my bed. I was actively suicidal.
Mm.
Um, but it presented to me in a very different way. Because usually you will like feel some kind of like voice telling you that, oh, go commit suicide because you're useless. I didn't get that at all. Um, what I got was visual scenes
Mm-hmm.
of people stabbing, of me stabbing people, a lot of knives, a lot of very mutilated like scenes, jumping off, all this.
Yeah.
So it was just like at the forefront
Mm-hmm.
of my mind every single day. And I knew I wasn't safe. I was taking MC every single week because it
Mm-hmm.
was so freaking bad. I couldn't go on any longer because before I was having very very bad anxiety also relating to starting the depressant. I before every shift I will lao sai before I go.
Mm-hmm.
I will lao sai and non-stop, and then after that when I go to work I will just cry. So I'll cry on trains, I'll cry on cabs, and it was it was like I was just dreading to go to work. So when the suicide thoughts actually became really, really active, I knew I couldn't like continue because I wasn't safe with any shots anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to get a longer MC. But when I asked for help from the psychiatric clinic, they are not able to put me they're not able to put my appointment earlier.
Yeah.
And I called multiple times for help. They said, oh, cannot. If you want, you can go to IMH or in A&E. So my partner was fuming, I tell you, fuming. And like because I was actively suicidal and I wasn't given that treatment I needed. So in the end, I had to go to IMH. I think I slowly got better after that whole thing because I think my entire family was extremely scared. I was on like 24 hours, like lookout, my room cannot be locked. They can
Mm-hmm.
come in anytime. I had to be watched over by my friends and my partner, by my family members to make sure I don't go and do anything rash.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, so I all shops had to be removed. I couldn't be near any shops because I don't trust myself.
Yeah.
And I think I'm in a better place now lah.
Great. That's great to hear. But you know, when I was on Central Line, right? Um, I remember the suicidal thoughts would be very vivid. Like I can see myself hanging uh by a rope. I could see myself jumping off a building. And the people around me just couldn't understand because they went like, oh, you really went to IMH, then you got your help, the help that you needed, the
Yeah,
help, then why are you like this? And I told them that the medicine just amplifies things. And then uh a lot of them didn't believe me. And there were people that I considered to be very close to me. So that really sucked, right? So bad. And then um I remember going back to IMH for an appointment. And then so they asked me, so this doctor, right, he asked me, oh, how's things now? Then I said, well, not so good. You know, like I can't work, like I can't get out of bed. I
you
can't,
can't function.
yeah. And then he was like, oh, do you have any suicidal thoughts? I said, yeah, every day. Like I wake up and through the day. And then so what he did was he doubled my freaking dosage. And then it became a point where I couldn't feel emotions. I couldn't feel like happiness, sadness. I remember like my daughter's birthday and I wasn't smiling at all. I wasn't in the moment, you know. And I can relate with you about childhood because when I was in primary two, right, in primary school, I wanted to kill myself. And I remember praying to God, saying, like, can you just let a lorry or a bus hit me? And I'll cross the road, like the red man is there, and I'll purposely cross the road. I said, no, I want to die. Was when I was in primary two, and I was being bullied in school, right up to Like when I went to secondary school, it was a lot better, you know. But I was a very scrawny kid. I was like one of the very few non-Chinese in that school, so I was picked on a lot. Yeah, but I always believe like no matter what we go through, like we become stronger. And I know for you, you've had so many hurdles, man. Like just you wanting to be a nurse, right? You've had all these hurdles, and you had the hurdles when you were in school yourself. And I believe it's made you stronger, right?
I mean, it made me a lot more versatile in how I manage things, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a lot more health conscious now.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't think the physical health would matter much if your mental health is bad.
Yeah.
I think mental health is really, really something that um I put a lot more work in, and I'm just very grateful that when I hit rock bottom,
Mm-hmm.
I had a support system that was um able to actually support me. I mean there are like toxic people. So after I kick them all out, my
Yeah.
life has been peaceful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think really being selective on the people you surround yourself with, I think it makes a
Yep.
big difference.
Yeah. I agree. I agree.
Very big
Yeah.
difference. And I think it's very important that, you can have really hard things happen to you, but it's important to be able to make light of what the situation is. Because things are really so hard. We can make it harder. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Just you don't have to like make it worse than it is already. So I think gaining that skill set to try and re-regulate and try to see things in a more positive way
Mm-hmm.
does help with how the overall outlook of life is. I'm very into like I'm more of like the moment person. My
Yeah.
partner is the one, she must plan like A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Yeah.
How in
Yeah.
the future I'll drag her back.
I used to be
You know?
like that. I used to be like that, but now I've learned to just go with the flow.
Yeah, just go with the flow. You see, when
Yeah.
things happen, just let it happen lah. It's like
Mm.
it won't happen. It's not happening now. It will happen in the future. Yes, but you're there's no point like, worrying about it like 5 years from now. Might as well you enjoy your 5 years, then when it comes then you deal with it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's like I think I'm really, really, really nervous about going back because I am not sure if I will fall back to the same place.
Mm.
But then again, I was told that I wouldn't go back to the same place because now that I have new skills, I know the signs, I know the symptoms, I know how to dial back when things are starting to escalate.
Yeah. You know,
So I hopefully will
mhm.
get the license this time.
Yeah. Because if you don't try, you don't know. Right. That's what I
Yeah.
always tell myself now. If I don't try, I don't know. So the same thing I think goes for you, right? Like you just have to give it your best shot and see where it takes you, go with the flow.
It's I mean, even if I made peace with myself that if things are not work out, I will just leave. There's always this part of me that is like, but you only try once. Why
Mm-hmm.
don't you try again? You know? And
Yeah.
this thing I can't really let it go. And so I felt that was also the thing where I when I was applying for new jobs, I
Mm-hmm.
thought I should give nothing another try. If it's meant to be, it will be.
Yeah.
And when I went for other interviews where I actually wanted to go into like pharmaceuticals and things like that, it's hard because I don't have my license, number one. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't stay long enough to be considered a nurse because I no license ma.
Yeah.
I only stayed for a few months. Then companies are not looking for that.
Mm.
It's hard to, even if we try to advocate to not see the person based on what you see on the script, like the CV, people will still go through the CV.
Yep.
It's how
I
they filter
agree.
out people. And I feel that if I can just last, I set very short goals, small wins, And if I can last, I'll last as long as I can. If I can't, I try.
Yep. That's to me the most
Yeah.
important thing. At least you tried. Yeah.
And I felt, even if you may not be a nurse,
Mm-hmm.
you still studied nursing, you're still a nurse, even if you got no license. Because it's not fair, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So, with everything that you've gone through, right? What is your advice for someone who is going through like I wouldn't say the same because it's never the same for any of us, but who's going through something similar to what you have gone through?
I think one thing for sure, like the wise humping has once said,
Mm-hmm.
this will last. Um, the hard time will last, but I think you should stay to watch the rainbow
Mm.
afterwards. It will be really, really hard. But I think once you find that support system that you need, that support network, that safety net, I think you'll do just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's really hard because sometimes when you're in the midst of everything seems so much. And it's really hard to find like the light of the tunnel. But when you can't see anything, you just take it one day at a time. I think you if you cannot see in front of you, then you see your feet lah. And it's one step one time. You know what I mean? But know that going through all these hardships makes you really, really resilient. And I think it's also a very good life experience because you filter out who is bad for you and who is good for you. So as you get your own safety net, you will be able to slowly achieve that level of stability, that happiness that you have been looking for a very long time. But you wouldn't know unless you go through these kind of things.
Oh man, it's been such a joy talking to you. I'm so glad that you're the first guest that we've had. Yeah, the conversation just
And I'm so
flows.
pressured.
No lah, you don't come across as someone that's pressured to do this, but
I
like
was
what.
pressured like 5 minutes before we started.
But the name of the show, it's Stories to Heal, and I really hope that there are folks that are listening right now or watching this, um, it helps heal some of the stuff that they're going through, right? Because together we are stronger, and only folks that go through like mental health issues will understand each other. And one of my goals when we spoke about doing this is I was hoping that there are people that don't have mental health issues but will watch this series and go like, oh, okay, now I understand them better. That is not just people always say it's all in your head. Um, uh, don't think so much. Like I used to get people telling me this. I used to get so frustrated. So you
But
don't,
actually, you don't tell people to breathe.
yeah, exactly right. So you don't understand, man. It's a chemical imbalance for me, lah. Right? It's a chemical imbalance. It's not like I want this. Some people were like, no, go to church, everything will be okay. I go like, but you didn't even ask what religion I am. I'm a Buddhist, right? But then you immediately assume that's going to help me. I go like, okay, then you really do not understand what I'm going through, but it's fine. You're not my friend. You're not part of my inner circle. Yeah, but my inner circle has been awesome. They've been very understanding, right? As much as they can.
I think it can never be 100% of what we need.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think what we envision is not what we get.
Mm-hmm.
So if I feel, I learned that if you portray that perfection on someone else, it makes things very hostile.
Mm.
People can't deal with your expectation because it's too much for them. It's not realistic for them because they're not made for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
that's also because like how we have been taught in race as an Asian
Mm.
household, mindset. Like because like you said, I genuinely think a lot of the mental health issues stem from childhood. I mean, that's what I feel is also true because
Mm-hmm.
when you are a child, you are very impressionable. Anything that happens around you, you absorb it.
Yeah.
And I think when you are at that age and things are not working out, it sets a certain trajectory to your life because you carry this whole drama, this whole burden throughout your whole life, throughout adulthood. And it's very hard to unpack. That's why a lot of these people who have went through trauma, they have such a hard time unpacking because there isn't a safe space from them from young. I think that's why there's so much trouble when parents are being like, oh, why you never tell me? I'm your mother, right? I'm your father, you never tell me. And but it's a different generation. There's a gap. There's a gap in understanding. I think it's important for parents to really create that safe space for their children.
Definitely. This conversation has been awesome, man.
Awesome. I wish my mom would hear this because I think she struggled a lot
Uh-huh.
trying to accept this whole narrative because she always wanted me to be like, oh, I may be deaf, but I can speak. I can do well.
Mm.
But then she wants me like all parents, you want your kids to be settled happily, like with a partner, have a house, get married, settle down. But I'm gay, unfortunately. So I think she had a hard time accepting that because her friends are more conservative also.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she's also like stuck. I don't know who to talk to. For her, it's so heartbreaking lah because there's nothing she could do,
Mm.
and it's nothing is worse than you not being able to do anything because you don't know how.
Yeah.
And it's just something that I needed to go through my own. So, but to watch her, for her to watch me struggle, I think that was a very big heartbreak for her. But I will be very curious to what she would say because I think mothers are always very strong. They're strong-headed, they're strong-minded because they have to carry everybody on their shoulders. They have to hold the family together. So I'm not sure if she would actually open up. But that
Mm-hmm.
would be interesting if she would.
Yeah. Yeah. But are you gonna share with her this link like once it's on social media?
I don't know. I shy lah.
Okay, I'll leave that to you. I'll leave it to you, man. I can see the differences already, you know. I think people are a lot more acceptable to hearing about mental health instead of just putting down IMH. Like I remember that being like really taboo. Like you cannot tell people, you know, you're going through this because what will people say? But so I think people are slowly realizing, oh, there is more to just bipolar or schizo. There's depression. There's anxiety. There's ADHD. Like there's all these things now, and people are willing to talk about it. So I think that's great. That's great for us, and that's great for a show like this because it's about spreading awareness. Yeah,
Representation.
yeah, and there's more help available now, right? There's definitely more help.
There is more affordable help that's
Y-
available now. It used to be so expensive.
yeah.
But I think, like as much as COVID was such a bad thing that happened, I think because of that, it drove a lot of changes,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the mental health sector, because of all the burnt out that everybody was feeling. There was a lot more help being given for that.
Mm.
So I hope this will stay.
Yeah, like there's
Yeah.
there's folks like IASH.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah, and what they're doing is just amazing, right? So they
It's
got
amazing.
the earbuds, which is for people like 18 years old and above, right? So you can do either Zoom call or voice call. And then if you want to see a counselor, they have that for age 13 and above, right? And it's really affordable. They can choose the counselor or therapist that they want to speak to. So when like I didn't know there was all this stuff that was available until I had my relapse and then was really low. And then I found out, oh my God, there's actually all these options available. And that's great. Yeah. So thank you so much, man, for doing this podcast. Thanks for being the first guest again. We're gonna wrap
No
things.
worries,
Yeah,
pleasure.
we're gonna wrap things up. Anything else you want to say before we sign off?
I think I just have one point to make now. Now that we have so many like affordable mental health sessions therapies available, I think it's a good time to shift this to making these sessions more accessible to people with disabilities. Yeah, so that would be a very good move, I feel. And yeah, I think IASH is doing a super job.
Mm,
I wasn't it wasn't made when I was having my whole episode, but it came after I actually recovered. And but I was because like before they actually set this in stone, there was like a small mini thingy that was going on before they actually finalized the whole thing. And I was part of that. And I think because of that, I was able to realize that I need help.
mm,
And I go through the relevant steps to seek help. Because
mm.
when you're so in the middle of the midst of all these bad feelings, sometimes you forget where to look for help. I think that's a very, very good resource.
Mm. Yeah, IASH, right? They're awesome. So folks, if you're watching, you can head to the website. It's www.iash.sg. Yes.
If like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, of course, man. Okay, cool. We'll speak
Thank you
soon,
so
okay?
much.
Yeah, you're welcome.